Hi everyone, my name is Molly Momenteller and I am one of the tech coaches up at the high school. Today I'm just going to give you a brief introduction to the Canvas PD page that you guys can work through, show you some different features, and introduce you to the modules that you guys can complete. So this is the home page of the staff PD. If you look on the bottom, if you scroll down, there is a list of all of the different modules that are available to you. While this is a good place to look for the information, they are linked. I would actually go through the modules tab over here, and we'll talk about that in a second. But you can see kind of how they're broken up into categories, what the different modules are, and we tried to put next to them how long each module might take. So most of these are about an hour worth of videos, and then actually implementing the skill in the video that we are showing you. So to the left-hand side, this is the modules tab. When you are using Canvas with your students, these are the tabs that they can potentially have access to on their Canvas pages as well. The modules tab is almost like if you are imagining a textbook, and the textbook would be broken into chapters. That's kind of how I think of modules. So each module would be a different unit or a different chapter of a textbook. The reason I would recommend you go through the modules tab is because some of these modules are locked and there are prerequisites in order to get to the next module. So for instance, you can see all of the different headers here that are kind of grayed out with the different units that you can work through. And some of them are open right now and some of them are closed. So for instance, this one, the beginner Canvas course setup, is all locked. And over here it says prerequisites, beginner navigating Canvas. So you have to finish this entire module before this module opens up. Most likely the skills that are presented in this module are necessary before moving on to the information that's presented in this module. So it remains locked until you finish. Canvas automatically opens it for you once you move through this entire module. This will automatically become available to you. And this is something you can use with your students as well. It forces them to do certain things before they move on to the next thing. So for instance, in this module, you can't take the quiz until you do the lesson and you do the assignment. So in my own English courses with my students, I set it up the same way. They have to watch the lesson before they do the assignment, before they take the quiz. So you can kind of work through these things in order instead of just from the home page clicking on any of these and potentially having something be locked. So for instance, if I just clicked on this, it would take me directly to that, but I can't work on anything in this module. So from modules, you can kind of see what's open for you. Once you're in the modules page, you can still scroll through and see all of the different offerings for you. Even though they're grayed out, they're still listed there for you. And then you can select what you want to begin with. The ones that are available, you can do them in any order, so it doesn't matter. The ones that are grayed out, you have to do the prerequisites first. All of the modules are set up in the exact same format. So you'll notice here, this is a beginner module and it's on creating Canvas assignments. So all of the modules are set up with a lesson, a brainstorm, and a practice for you to complete. You would begin by clicking on the lesson, and there's most likely going to be a video there for you. In this lesson specifically, the transcript of the video is below, so you can follow through easily later with those steps. You don't have to rewatch the whole video. You can just kind of look through the steps. After you watch the video, you can use the next button to navigate to the brainstorm. On the brainstorm page, we're asking you to just brainstorm ideas on how you would use whatever you learned in the lesson in your specific class. This can help us brainstorm ideas together of why this function in Canvas might be useful, or if you have used Canvas in the past, you might be able to give someone else a good idea of how they can use that function. Once you post, you'll be able to see all of the other teachers' comments, and we can use this as a brainstorming board in the future to gather ideas of how to use these different functions. So then once you post on the discussion board, you can navigate to the actual practice. So most of the practice is going to ask you to go to your own Canvas page or a shell course or something that you're working in and do whatever you learned about in the video. So for instance, this one is asking you to create an assignment. So this says, using the video or written directions you went over in the lesson portion, try to create your own assignment in one of your own Canvas classes. Submit a screenshot or picture of your completed assignment here. So you would actually create something that hopefully you can use in the future, and then just screenshot or take a picture of that to submit. And the biggest reason for this is kind of to practice what the students would be doing when they go ahead and submit, and the process that they would go through. But also then you can have a place where you're sharing your ideas with your colleagues as well. So you can move through any of these modules. Again, like I said, some of them are open at any point in time. Some of them are locked. We tried to delineate at the beginning what module this module is for. You know, beginner. I think there's some intermediate in here. And then the different topics are all scattered throughout. Hopefully this was helpful as a little introduction. We've gotten good feedback on the professional development so far, but if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help with anything if something's not working for you, or if you have any questions on the professional development. Thanks, guys.